Recording is in progress, you beautiful American bitch.
They're always American, aren't they?
They are. It's because nobody wants northern like voiceover. Recording is in progress.
Aye, aye, took recording.
Or even someone from Essex, which I can't do the accent of.
It's kind of, I always get Essex and Cockney mixed up. Essex is a little bit like, all right there, love, all right. It's like a little bit
You're a
like
bit
that, isn't it?
Cockney as well.
Like
You are a
Joey
bit.
Essex. Hey,
Yeah, you're a bit Cockney.
am I?
Yeah. Am I? You
Am
fucking
I?
mug.
Leave it at. Well, it's Coliseum coming up, isn't it? So I've got to like up me London, innit?
It's true.
Welcome
It's
to the
true.
Stanley Arts in Norwood Junction, you slag. Should have been a
It is
Millwall
true.
fan.
I wouldn't know if Odyssey's coming up, if Coliseum's coming up, mate.
That sounds like shade. It
A
feels
little
like
bit.
shade.
A little bit.
I think it's got something to do with not wanting to book anyone from the north because it's too expensive. But yeah, like I must.
Shade. Shade, but understanding from my side.
Yeah, it's understandable shade.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. I was having that conversation with a wrestler the other day,
Mm.
because they were saying like, how come this guy gets to go abroad and I don't? And I said it's okay to be happy for your friends, but also wish you had the same success. I
Yeah.
don't think it's unhealthy. I think a lot of people associate, people will say, why can't you just be nice? Why can't you just be happy for other people? It's like, yeah, those things aren't mutually exclusive. You don't have
Mm.
to, you can still be, having a chip on your shoulder isn't a bad thing. That's what got me where I am. Without
I've
it,
got
I
that at
would
the
have,
moment.
yeah, without it, I would not have got anywhere.
Mm.
Like I know that I'm good enough to be in a multitude of places. And even though now I get the recognition from so many different people, I still have I still see it's funny. Now I see the smaller promotions, which I shouldn't even care about, the ones that are starting up or the ones that, frankly look shit. And they'll be booking like random commentators who have no business being on a microphone or have no business being in front of a camera. And I think, really? So you just didn't want to book me? And it's that thing of like, I don't even need that booking, but that's kind of what I think is a successful drive in somebody is never settling and expecting to be the best at things. I think once you get to that point, you're doing quite well. And I
Yeah.
think, especially if you're a creative as well, it's important that you have some sort of drive that you get recognition because ultimately recognition is what drives us to keep going, isn't it? Without recognition, what's the point of us being here?
Well, I mean, we're both in the public eye, in inverted commas. We both want to be in entertainment because we've both got this thing of I want to be talked about, please. It's just what we
Yeah,
do.
absolutely.
It's just
Absolutely.
what we do. I've got that big thing at the moment of being really happy for friends of mine who are successful and also being massively bitter of going, but I've done the same for years and I'm still nowhere. I have done what you're doing now and you are where I want to be. You shit.
Who, me?
No, just in general.
Oh, okay, cool. That's gonna say.
Um, but again, I'm massively proud of the people that are there. It's fucking amazing. I did my radio show last night and I played 3 tracks back to back for my Phenomenal 3, all of bands that I played like way back in the day, back in like 2010, 2011. And back then, the show I did was important to a very small amount of people, but it was important. It was big, it was spoken about. It was, there was a community there. It was back in the olden days where you used to be able to, on Facebook, on their groups, you could chat amongst yourselves on those groups. 9 times out of 10, that we had a chat group just going throughout the fucking show, not even listening to us. They were just talking whilst the show was on. And that's the only time they fucking did it. Back then, the show mattered and it was fucking brilliant. And it feels like I was properly living back in 2010 last night. And it would have been nice to do it again.
Feeling a bit of a nostalgic pine for the older days.
Oh, very much so. Very, very much so.
What do you think needs to be facilitated to get back to that point?
Fuck knows. Fuck knows. I've got the feeling that the world grew up and I didn't.
I think that's the case for a lot of us, to be fair.
Yeah. So my audience kind of grew up and away from what I do. And I didn't. I've stayed the same. And I don't have the next audience coming up to kind of move that along, which is a shame.
That's what happened with me in wrestling, though. Like, wrestling is still here, and you either grow out of it or you don't. And I just never grew out of it. And luckily for me, I was able to make a career out of it. But it took a lot. It's a niche within a niche, and I think it's like if anything, I suppose me being successful in my field is probably a very good example of how people should chase their dreams, because I chased a dream in something that's so niche where only like 1% of anyone who works in wrestling makes any kind of reasonable living from it. And yet I've been able to do so. And a lot of people would consider that like an incredible success. I do as well, to be fair. It's not like I dislike it. I'm definitely still in that stage where I'm like, I should be working more. Not enough companies respect or recognize me because they don't. Simple as that. But yeah, no, it's that thing of like, you meet some people and their dreams seem so accessible compared to what mine were. And yeah, they don't chase them. So, but then also, it's, I guess, kids have to be a factor, don't they? Family, mortgage, things like that. I also recognize that there are a lot of hurdles that aren't in front of me simply because I chose to be a bit of a waste or a bit of a layabout, not fucking settle down, not have kids, things like that. And that's benefited me. But it didn't for the longest time, like, because I wasn't doing enough. I was just sat in this dead end job and not doing anything. Literally just working. That was it. And like, oh, great. I'll go home and play GTA for a few hours and then pass out. Like, that was it. That was literally all I used to do. And now it's like waking up and I'm like, right, I've got to get this video edited. I've got this show this Saturday. I've got another show Sunday. All these different things are sort of mounting up. And it's nice, but it's also that thing of like, I just didn't have any direction, which is sometimes worse than, maybe settling down or meeting somebody or having kids or whatever. So I guess, I don't know. The buzzword is trust the process. I think people like to say that. Trust the process. Sometimes you have to force the process. Otherwise, you won't go anywhere. Motivate yourself to do something.
With settling down and stuff in mind, you had a task last time, didn't you? Last show.
Yeah, good news. I haven't settled down yet.
But what was the task last show?
So the task last show was to put in my bio essentially that I like going down on women.
Yeah.
On my dating
apps. How did it work?
So it worked. So I haven't met anyone yet. Although I did have a brief opportunity. One of the biggest problems was I was at a wrestling show and I was doing like a very heavy weekend up north, and it would have needed to basically facilitate me being a bit unprofessional and not getting any sleep the night before. And I just thought, as much as I want to get laid, I also take way too much pride in my work. So I opted for that. And then got chastised for it by Nadia Sapphire. Fuck you, Nadia.
I'm not surprised. Nadia, I'm fucking glad. Fucking bitch slap him.
She can
try. Then I'll take you.
Just jealous that Sky Smith's gonna whip her ass. But she's not gonna watch this, so I don't care. But it's that thing of like it's definitely facilitated more conversation. I get a lot more people matching and then saying, "Oh, your bio is interesting." I'm like, "Yeah, it is," and it's fucking honest. I've had the alternative effect as well, where people have matched with me. This shows you the neurotic nature of people on dating apps. I've had women match with me just to kind of critique the fact that I've put that in my bio. And it's like, "Oh, you're full of yourself, aren't you?" I was like, "Well, no, I just know what I'm good at." Isn't it funny?
That's like you didn't even say you were good.
Yeah, no, I did. No, I
Oh, did you?
literally wrote, yeah, like the exact line was, I mean, on my phone is somewhere. Um, I'll read out my bio verbatim for
Go
people
on
so
then.
that they can actually get an
I tell you
idea of.
what, I'll do mine as well because if we're doing it, if we're going all out, if we're being honest, let's be fucking honest, and you
Yeah,
can
like
see how
mine is.
fucking bad mine is.
So you can have a bio, and then on Bumble you can have profile prompts as well, which people can sort of respond
Okay.
to. So my actual bio says, "I have a magnificent beard, a huge passion for my life while being driven, independent, emotionally available, and engaging. When it comes to sex, I love it, and I'm insanely good at going down on a woman. I work in the pro wrestling business, and I love it." That's my bio. That's it.
Fair enough.
And then
I like that.
the prompts you can write down things like, so it's meant to be if dot dot dot, and I put, if you scratch my head and let me rest on you, because God knows I need that severely. The quickest way to my heart is food, also a passion for who I am and what I do. And I asked a friend to give me a review, which was not you, but I will put yours in a moment. But one of my lovely dear friends put, intense, loyal, passionate, and powerful. Any woman would be astonishingly lucky to have a guy like Aeron, which is very sweet. So,
Oh,
no, right.
that is nice.
Yeah.
I did so this is my Bumble one. I'll give you, I think it's pretty much the same for both of them. Hi, I'm Mark. I'm a father, part-time entertainer, shambles, bit of a laugh, shambles. If you're a bit dark, that always helps, but any sense of humor is a good thing. A lot of a nerd, but welcome to all genres. No wrong answers.
See, I like that because I know you, and this is where dating apps have the struggle. So I know you, so I find that charming, and I think that's just Mark all over. But to the outside looking in, this is the problem. People won't accept you, and then sort of find out for themselves. There's this fear now of finding out for themselves, I think. So overwhelmingly, people will just kind of look for negatives in bios. So they'll be like,
Yeah.
shambles? What shambles? Why is he a shambles? What's wrong with him? What do you mean he wants somebody who's a bit dark? Like, wouldn't surprise me if a few women are like, oh, he's only into blackbirds. Swipe left. Because people are
It's
dumb.
fine. I'll be honest with you. If any black ladies would like that, that's fine with me. Either way.
I like black women very much.
The start of my Tinder profile is just simply, I know I can't see you, but I'm sure you've got a smashing blouse on. But again, all of my I'm not good at selling myself. It's the reason I've got a proper job anywhere properly. I've always kind of like dropped into things. I can't get a job on radio because I'm bad at selling myself. Getting a job at any other promotions because I'm bad at selling myself. It
You
just,
need an
I'm not.
agent.
I fucking do. I'm not good at it. Dude, if you could fucking get me,
My
I'd give
job
you
is
20%.
literally selling people for them, isn't it? Look at what I do. So I
Dude,
create.
I would give, if you could give me more jobs, I would give you 20%. I'm that generous.
I don't want that. I want you to keep that. So, see, it's very cheesy, but it is, and it's very cliche, but it is something that I truly believe in. Is like when people sort of, message me and say, "Oh my God, thank you so much." I do get a lot of kindness from people. And they say, "You've done so much for me." Frankie T rang me out the other day because he's booked me to wrestle, bastard. And
Nice.
yeah, I know. Like, I fucking need to get my body sorted first, otherwise I'll die in the ring. Which is probably, to be fair, where I want to die, but that's neither here nor there. At
Yeah,
least
but
in
isn't that with a
at least
gun?
in someone's ring. Hey,
I
but
want to
yeah,
die in
it's
the ring with a gun and a smile.
with a gun and a smile. Yeah, and then wind up on page 7 of the Daily Mail because that's probably
No,
what.
wait, hang on a second. You're Arab. You'd be on page 1.
You say that, but then like I'd have to. I think you'd have to do something pretty extreme as an Arab, and we all know what kind of extreme means in Arabs. But yeah, no idea. But yeah, no, I do spend most of my time essentially helping other people out and sort of, even if it's for a small fee, creating content that will then get them recognized. And they're all very thankful for it. But I'll just say to them, if you really want to thank me, just go and be successful. That's the coolest thing. Like, yeah, I've made you a nice video, or I've, helped your promotion. That's one thing. But when, you see them actually go out there and flourish and achieve dreams, I mean, it's that association with that, I think. Same with like, I met this lovely girl in Leeds at the show.
Oh, I.
And yeah, I wish. Let's just say she's a little bit more popular with wrestlers than I am. Um, so it's but
Mate,
yeah, no,
I'm more popular with wrestlers than you are, and that's saying something.
yeah, it's very true.
Most
Actually.
wrestlers fucking hate me.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I have divisive opinions to say the very least. But yeah, no, she was like, so she's an independent gear maker. Lovely woman, really lovely, like deserves the world, bless her. But she was saying, like, it's not necessarily getting paid to make the gear, it's when you see them wearing the gear that you've made. It's the same for me. Like, yeah, it's one thing that I was able to make Lois Guy Smiths and the logo. It's quite another when I switch on the WWE network and I go and watch a progress show and she comes out and the logo's on the back of her jacket. That's that association with excellence, that's association with success.
For me, the
Knowing that
good
it's gone to that next
people.
level.
Yeah, but it's not just mean for me, the good people bring you along for the ride. So there were people in my life who I've kind of championed from very early on in my career, and these guys were already big, but they still take me along for the ride because they appreciate what I've done. And that's quite nice. It's quite nice when I've known photographers started very small, but again, because of how good they are and how much they mean to the acts, they have followed the career of comedians and wrestlers and stuff. It's fucking amazing. But as I say, the good ones will bring you along.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. Like, I guess that's the advantage of getting paid for doing what you love is even if you don't sort of see any kind of success after that, you've still kind of made a monetary success or, a financial success of some sort. There's a lot of companies I work for where they don't credit my video work, which is fine. Some companies don't like it because they don't want it on the on-demand service for whatever reason, or just because maybe arseholes, I don't know. I'm very lucky that the overwhelming majority of clients that I work with are very happy to kind of share my success or share my sort of business or whatever it might be. But yeah, no, I think like I don't dislike your dating profiles and stuff, but maybe by the end of this show we can kind of put something
Rewrite it.
Rewrite it a bit. Yeah,
Yeah, let's rewrite my fucking Tumblr profile. Sorry, Tinder profile. Tumblr's a different
Tumblr,
one.
blimey, that's going
I
back.
fucking, I
That's
miss
something
the
I
old days
never
of
had.
Tumblr.
Never had a Tumblr profile.
Oh mate, I miss the old days of it. When you
Wasn't it
when you
just like?
didn't want to go,
Wasn't that like the original Pinterest or something?
kind of, but more porny.
Oh,
It was fucking great. If you weren't asked about searching through Pornhub to get your rocks off, just go on Tumblr. Within 2 minutes, you found something that will pique your interest. It was fucking ace.
awesome. It's probably still going.
It is, but they took the porn bit away. It's now
And they
just
wonder
a
why
blog.
nobody has one now.
Yeah, it's now just a blog.
Yeah, you ruined it for us. Fuck you, Tumblr.
Yeah. But no, for me, the reason I've got those things on my Tumblr, fuck me, on my Tinder.
Yeah, he's got an obsession with Tumblr now.
I do. God, I do.
This is a proper nostalgia episode. This is.
It is. Oh, fuck the olden days, mate.
Tell me about your Atari 2600.
Never had one. My first.
No, I didn't either. Like, we were too poor to be able to afford one. The first console I had was always like 2 generations behind everybody else. I think we mentioned it once on a podcast.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, everyone was getting a PlayStation, and I got an N60, Super Nintendo.
Yeah. When everyone got the PS1, I had a Sega Master System with Alex the Miracle Kid.
Yeah. So I put those things on my dating profile because I genuinely think at this point I can't be asked with the bullshit. I don't want to go through that thing of trying to find someone who has a bit of a sense of humor, is a bit dark, gets references and stuff like that. Small talk for me, I like doing small talk, but small talk when you're trying to get into a relationship, fucking bullshit. So if people get the type of humor that I have, that's half of the battle won for me.
Yeah.
So if anyone goes on my profiles and goes, "Oh, I get that reference," and they talk to me, I'm like, "Yes, please. Yes, please, there very much."
I mean, it certainly slims down, the potential of meeting idiots, because then at least if people are getting your references, that chances are they understand your form of humor. Um, but then I think you've mentioned quite a few times on this podcast that you're quite happy with the life you have. You're not really interested in meeting somebody and settling down anyway, because it would then have to facilitate bringing them into your world, meeting your kids, things like that, which
Yeah.
is something that is a non-negotiable, which is fine.
I genuinely just want to flirt with someone occasionally and maybe get my dangle touched.
I think, yeah, like I've had some like really nice conversations with women lately, like, you know, women who are already friends of mine and stuff, and just sort of speaking to them about the kind of internal workings of like dating and stuff. And the overwhelming majority of them have said, like, even though it's not a bad thing that men have more of an interest in maybe having sex and things like that, it's difficult for women in this day and age because they're hypersensitized towards, you know, things like conversation and, you know, dating and having dinner. And, you know, like men sort of, a lot of my female friends finally sort of said to me, like, I think men have accepted more that it's okay to just kind of go after what you want, whether you just want to get laid or whatever, whereas women still have that really highly romanticized idea of meeting people. And I'm sure that it's not always the case. I mean, it's obviously it's different for everyone, but it does seem like more and more like one of the first things I got actually recently out of the dating app, which gave me a real epiphany, was, so I don't really, even though I've got that in my bio, I don't lead a conversation with sex or anything like that. But yeah, one of the girls that I spoke to and met on these dating apps, and we had quite a few chats on the phone before it inevitably broke down, as it always does. She said one thing that frustrates me when matching with guys is that they always want to lead the conversation towards sex very early on. And she said, I wish they wouldn't do that, because women overall know within a few seconds of meeting a guy whether they're going to be sexually interested in him or not. So they don't need to be told what, you know, they don't need to be led to that sort of conclusion. They already know. And she said, like, one of the best things a man can do is just not talk about it, because ultimately, trust me, if she wants to fuck you, she will. So it's like, okay, so maybe that's something that can be applied. I don't know. Because I think naturally, if like, it depends on how people speak to you. You might have the best of intentions, but if a woman sort of messages you and makes some sort of cheeky, flirtatious comment, you know, you're well within your rights to kind of go down that sort of avenue a bit. And then obviously people are like, oh, it's always about sex with you. And it's like, well, if you kind of lead people a certain way, then don't be surprised if they behave in the same way of where they've been led. I don't know. It's a minefield. And I think with dating apps, the biggest problem is that there's no facility for people to be able to truly see what you are until they get to know you. No amount of writing in a bio, no amount of pictures. You know, maybe, do you know what? I'm surprised they haven't like lent towards video profiles where you actually have to kind of record yourself for maybe 30 seconds, like a reel or a, you know, like you see on Instagram.
You mean like dating apps back in, you mean like dating websites and stuff back in the 90s?
Kind of like an audition, you know, like a video process.
That's what it was. It used to be that. Episode 2 of series 1. No, it wasn't. It was episode 1 of series 2 of Bottom, is a dating agency where they both have to, you know, video themselves explaining a little bit about themselves.
But there's less things to hide there, isn't there? Because with a, you know, with a video, you can't, like, for instance, right now, yeah, sure, I could probably touch this video up and not in that way, but
yeah, you can.
That's basically how desperate I've got. I've got to touch this video
fucker.
up now. Yeah, I mean, SilentMark's on my screen. Of course, I'm going to touch it up. But you know, you can like edit a video slightly and, you know, put a filter on yourself, or whatever. But ostensibly, when you watch this, there's no hiding who I am. You can hear me speak. You can hear what I think. Whereas with, you know, just pictures and things like that, you know, it's amazing how many people we know who we find very attractive, and even they say to me like, oh yeah, I fucking edit the shit out of all my photos to make myself look better, or whiten my teeth slightly, or remove a blotch, or blah blah blah. You can do that. So it doesn't matter what you see on a dating app for the most part. It's never going to be the authentic thing that you're going to meet down the line if you do happen to meet or go on a date, which is why it infuriates me even more when people just try and pretend that they only have like a head or whatever it is. One of the things that I really enjoy is just what's funny is like for instance, the woman that I met who lives relatively near Leeds, we still chat like almost every other night, and she's actually a lot of fun. I really get on well with her, and we actually just chat as mates more so than anything else. And we like are quite open about the fact that we still have dating apps, and that even though we match, like we still just fucking match with other people. And we were just constantly like chatting the other night about the things that we hate about dating apps, things that we hate in people's profiles. Like, I don't know. Like, I mean, like for instance, you have any particular peeves if you're on a dating app? Like, is there things that you look at and you think, absolutely fucking not? I'm not going to swipe on that person because of that.
Several. I've mentioned it a couple of times before. The standard is I'm looking for Mr. Right. So if you're just here for one thing, swipe right. Oh, just grow up. You know, if you're that interested, that's fine. Just say no. But again, I can imagine the amount of guys that go on there going, "Oh, do you want to see me dick?" is unfucking real, and men get better.
That's the thing as well. We're overwhelmingly like 20-1. It's men in favor of women.
Oh, it's fucking. But even then, it's more than that when it comes to dicks. Literal sending off. But the other one for me at the moment are people that go, not a Tory. I'm looking for someone who's this, that, and the other, and not a Tory. Like, yeah, fair enough, but really?
Like, that's immaturity is what that is.
Yeah.
Because it's that assumption that anyone who votes Tory or anyone who aligns themselves with a right-wing political nature is a bad person. That's not, again, not exclusive. Like, that's not a case. That's not a thing. I know people who vote Tory who are very good people.
Yeah. Like some friends of mine, some good friends of mine, some people that I genuinely adore voted Brexit and voted Tory. We don't talk about it, but those people I still really, really like. And you can't, I think in a relationship, you've got to have things in common. But politics being the way it is at the moment, the last thing you want to fucking do is bring that into the house. Whether you both agree on it or not, politics should not be spoken about ever, because politics at the moment is horseshit. We got an email from Robbie today that's got 4 questions on it, and I will read one of them now, which is, what do you think the world will look like in 5 years? Robbie, the way things are going, on fire.
What world? It will be destroyed.
Swear to God, we will be on fire within the next 5 years if shit doesn't sort itself out. Whether that be the Western world thinking that it's the dog's bollocks and trying to rule everything, whether it's the UK being so fucking close-minded to literally everything that they're imploding in on themselves. And that's both from the left and the right. Whether it's the US, again, having the liar in chief still go, oh, no, I'm winning. I
think it'll just be the same. Like, this is the thing, people are saying, like, the world's more fucked up than it's ever been. Yes, in many ways, but no in other ways, because, like, you know, people are like, look, there's war going on in Ukraine and places like that. And it's like, there's always been war going on. It's just that this is more, you know, covered by the media. That's all that is.
The problem is, though, we now have newer weapons. So
where's my goddamn hoverboard?
Yeah. So nuclear weapons are so much more advanced and so much more prevalent.
You see that sign at the wrestling show in America?
Yeah.
Legalized nuclear weapons.
Yeah.
At wrestling. Mind blowing.
People are dicks.
Ladies and gentlemen, the South.
Yeah. But there's
right to bear nuclear arms, god damn it.
There's nuclear weapons. There's you know, fucking the internet. There's AI. There's so much shit that is going to kill us. More things that would kill us now than there were 50, 60, 70 years ago.
I told you, the Matrix isn't that far away from the truth.
Let's not even have the Matrix. Let's just fucking die. As a species, let's just die and let the world start itself over again. I swear to God.
That's what happens in the Assassin's Creed lore. The whole
What?
basis of Assassin's Creed is that you're searching through people's memories for the old age, rivalry between Assassins and Templars, and then you find out that there's like this huge deep state cover up that actually there used to be a civilization before us that were far more advanced, and they fucked themselves over with their advancement and killed themselves essentially, and the world started over.
I genuinely think that's what we should do. Because again, we've fucked everything over. Let's just start it all again. Burn every book. Because I say burn every book because, as the old thing of science is the way it is. So a civilization dies off. The next people that come along, if they try and research stuff, if they try and come up with stuff, the same things will happen again. So a guy tries to make fire, it will happen again, the same as it did the first time. Religion won't. Religion will never happen the same way twice because of the way it is.
But burn religious books, basically.
No, burn every book.
What? Even every all the great works of fiction?
Yes.
It's a bit disappointing.
Just because we are all going to die as a species. There will be no one left. There'll be no one left to read them. People in the future, if they pick up these things, they will get influenced by what we have been, whether that be through novels, whether that be through non-fiction works, whether that be through the Bible, whether that be through fucking anything that we leave behind, even stones, even fossils, even everything that we leave behind will influence the future in some way, shape, or form. And if we get rid of as much as we possibly can, the next cycle of human beings could do a lot better than we are. I mean, we're doing pretty fucking well. You're down where you are, I'm up where I am, and we're talking and recording this, and people are listening to it. So we're doing pretty well. Is it perfect? Fuck no. But can it get better? If we completely die off, yes.
I mean, we're doing a pretty good job ourselves, aren't we? It's one of those things like, the destruction of the planet is a good example of that. Deforestation of the rainforests, like the mountains of fucking garbage, the atmosphere being slowly eradicated. If you're, I've noticed there's a larger and larger and more vocal section of people on the internet that think global warming is a hoax. So.
Really? Oh, for fuck's sake, are we doing that now? Fuck it, Jesus Christ. We are going to kill ourselves, and I'm fucking glad about it. The sooner the better.
At least let your kids grow up first.
No, I want both of my kids to never have children. I want all my family. I want us to be the last line of our generation.
Oh, good news. I've already doubled down on that.
As soon as my kids die off, the world can end.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd say that I'd say a joke after it to make it a bit lighter. I can't. It's literally just that fucking bad. Can we pause a second? Because I need a toilet. I have drunk a little bit too much.
10 minutes later.
How was your piss?
Sorry?
How was your piss?
Long. I have this thing where if I drink too much carbonated stuff, I piss like a fucking racehorse.
That's old age.
And I'm currently on Dandelion and Burdock. Speaking about old age,
Burdock.
Yeah, it's fucking ace. Speaking of old age, I got an eye test today. I need glasses, which is fun.
To the club.
I'm now just an old man.
I've needed glasses for like the best part of 15, 20 years. I've always had fairly blurry vision from like my sort of late teens. And I only got glasses right before the pandemic started. I remember going in there and they were like, how can you even see out of one of your eyes? because apparently the vision was so bad. So literally my entire life I've just been doing this. Constant headaches, things like that. So yeah, it's one of those things. I highly recommend people, shoot for an eye test, because it's more often than not free. You can get free eye tests all over the place. Boots are pretty good with stuff like that. Just get one done. Also, it's a very good outlier for checking to see if you have any like diabetic complications or anything like that.
Yeah, the guy I saw took a picture of my eye and he said, "Yeah, it's fine. You're fine. You're healthy. This eye is weaker than this one. Apparently,
That's
this is
what
my
happened with me. Yeah, one of my eyes was far weaker than the other. So
yeah, but apparently I've got a dominant left eye, which is very rare. More people have got a dominant right eye, but no, apparently my right eye is the one that tries to focus, which I hadn't noticed properly. I'd noticed it occasionally, but the more time went on, the more I thought about it after the appointment, I thought, you know what? It's fucking right. My left eye is always felt like right now. I can feel my right eye being the one that's looking at the camera. It's weird being like knowledgeable, what's the fucking word? Why can't I think of the word?
Don't know what you're trying to say, so I'll tell you what is really incredible is putting glasses on for the first time when you've never worn them. Yeah. I remember like him going like, I was like, what the fuck? Like everything was like in full HD. I was like, Jesus. Even now, like if I take them up, blurry, complete blur, all of it. No, yeah. No, when I wake up, like my eyes will be slightly more tuned to it. So, like for instance, I could probably wrestle without glasses. But it's one of those things, like it's amazing how much your body can adjust to certain things when they're given to you.
Well and truly. And he said that, see, I've got this problem where I will say things so they are getting what they want to hear, if that makes sense. And I try not to do it as much. So I was worried that I was doing that in the appointment. And I realized I wasn't when he said, right, read this now. And I was reading it and I thought, does this feel right? Does this feel normal? Does this feel better? And then he took them off and I apparently went like that. So I was trying to then, without them, focus on what I was supposed to be reading. And he goes, I just saw what you were doing. And that is the reason you need those glasses. I went, oh, okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
It's strange. You find out more about your body the more you talk to people about it.
Yeah, I'm becoming more aware of that. More things are starting to go wrong or struggling now. I feel like I'm slowly paying the price for poor, decisions when I was younger. Things like drinking energy drinks for so long or, caffeine and all kinds of different things, bad diet choices, stuff like that. Like I've kind of, ironically enough, like over the last couple of weeks, I've made a real concerted effort to force myself to drink at least like 1.5 to 2 liters of water a day. And I've probably never felt worse than I do right now. And I'm not sure whether that's my body flushing it or if it's just an impending heart attack, like random things, numbness in my feet, things like that. And it's that thing of like, I think there's an existential dread as you get older. Like when you're 20 and something goes wrong, you either ignore it and you think, whatever, I'm invincible. When you're 38 and things start going wrong, you start getting numbness and that. Like the internet has really damaged this as well. Because if you go on the internet and type in, like it's obviously, so I've typed in all my symptoms lately over the last few days, chest pains predominantly on the left side, and of course immediately people are like, cardiac arrest, you're dying. That's just fucking hell. Yeah, could be having a series of multiple heart attacks without even knowing it. It could be gearing up for a massive coronary fucking bypass. I don't know. And I think that's like the fear of age is that it kind of reminds you that you are no longer invincible. Your mortality is nigh, and that's the case for all of us. So
go to the fucking doctors, mate.
I tried, not having it. I'm gonna have to ring up
Just
111. I know what's gonna happen. I'm gonna ring up 111 and they're gonna be like, "Yeah, we're gonna send a paramedic." Because last time I did this, they sent an ambulance out because they thought I was having a stroke. So,
yeah, good. Fucking do it.
but it's
Get them
that
to
thing
come
of
out to
like,
you.
but then you feel like a tosser when the ambulance comes out and they're like, "Oh yeah, you seem alright. We don't, you know, like." Well, I'm not. Like, I've got numbness in my left arm. My feet are numb. I've got pins and needles. Like, my heart rate goes mental sometimes. And it's just like, but they can only judge you based on what they see in the moment. So then it's
Is
like,
there anywhere near you that does same day appointments?
yeah. So that's what I was trying to get today. So my doctors, like, I rang them up a few days ago and I said, "Oh, I need to see a doctor. I'm not feeling good." And they were like, "Okay, well, you have to ring at 8 o'clock and you've rung too late in the day." Like, okay. What?
Right.
Pretty
Ring
shiesty.
one. What you need to do is ring 101 or 111 and just say, "I need seeing because this is happening," and they'll get you one the next day.
Cool. Well, that's what I'm doing after this podcast. So
Fucking
if
yeah,
there
do
are
it.
no more podcasts after this, then you know there's something dramatic happened.
I will do one on my own, and it will be our last ever podcast, and it'll be me just wanking onto the screen, going, "It's what he would have wanted."
It's exactly what I would have wanted. In my funeral, I want people to just like take the fucking piss. I don't want people sitting there crying about me or wearing, morbid shit. Like, wear colourful suits. I don't give a fuck. Play hilarious music. Have a laugh. Go and get drunk. Have a
I want
fucking
to
whopping
have
great buffet with heart attack. Like, if I have a heart attack, I demand that we have, like, I want you to do a stand-up set at my funeral. You can ring
big
my ears.
fucking ribs and stuff.
Yeah, I want people to have like the most heart attack laden food, like just as like a true. It's what he would have wanted. It's what he did get. Fat cunt.
I will basically. It is my job at your funeral to go on and just tell people how much of a bellend you were.
I don't think you need to tell them. Just go on WrestlePlug's YouTube. You get your fill quite easily.
um,
We're all running out of time. Make use of it.
Very true. I do. I want my funeral to be fucking ridiculous.
It does scare the
Just
fuck out of me. Like, it does scare the fuck out of me.
Does it?
Like sitting here thinking, "Not my funeral. That doesn't scare the shit out of me." Like, who cares? I'm going to be dead. I won't know. A little part of me does hope in some way there is like a kind of spiritual thing where you're floating around or whatever. It would be nice to see my friends, after I'm gone and be able to sort of say, I don't believe in, heaven and hell and all that kind of stuff. I don't. I don't know if that's a fear because ultimately with my behavior, probably looking towards the red side of things. But it's also that thing of like, I it's funny. Like, I was reading the worst thing you can do, and it's like it shows my mental state. So I went on Google the other day, and I was like, "What happens when you die?" And overwhelmingly, people say that like it's actually a very peaceful process, even in like the most painful of death. Once you pass, like you're still apparently there is a really strong scientific theory that people know that they're dead. They like you don't switch off immediately. There's stories of people who have, like when people have like passed away and they've been able to resuscitate them and bring them back to life. They said they've passed away and then they've heard their own death being announced. They can hear it in the room, which is gnarly as fuck. Like, I can't imagine. For me, I'm not scared of me passing away. I'm sad because I don't want people to be upset in that moment. You know what I mean? That kind of thing of like people are crying and are upset.
Yeah.
We've all been around when people have passed, or we've been in moments where we've had to go and say goodbye to somebody awake or whatever. And I can't imagine being able to hear that and not being able to sort of say to people, "It's okay, it's fine, don't worry about it." I think that's the most painful thing I think that comes with death, because it is that thing of, you can't say anything to them, you can't make them feel better. They've just got to sit there and sort of go through it all. And I imagine most people that we've lost, especially if they've had a good life or a long life, would be like, "It's okay, don't worry about it. Like, it's fine. Death is inevitable. It's part of our lives." I'm not saying people shouldn't mourn the loss of others and stuff like that, but don't make a massive deal out of it, I suppose, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
sounds ridiculous when you say it like that, but it is that thing of, you know, don't fucking ever mourn. Try not to mourn people's loss. Try and celebrate their loss. Like in Mexico, they have the best idea, don't they? They have Dia de los Muertos, which is the Day of the Dead, and this celebration, like, you know, they believe in celebrating their lives, so they, you know, they paint themselves in extravagant, beautiful ways of like what they believe to be representations of dead people, colorful skulls and things like that. You know, the sugar skulls and stuff like that, and that's such a beautiful way of doing things. So many other cultures, it's just such a time of unhappiness and misery, and like, you know, and then you go to Mexico and it's like, let's have a whopping great festival and bake beautiful goods and have a good time with it. And it's that thing of like, you want the people who are close to you to like enjoy and celebrate. Like, I guess it depends on what kind of life you led as well. You know, if you led a profoundly unhappy life, maybe that's going to facilitate how people feel when you pass on. But I like the idea that people celebrate somebody's life. You know, I remember my mate Ricky's funeral. He was abjectly unhappy. You know, it was miserable. I mean, he died at 32 of a heart attack. Healthiest guy I know. You know, and it's that thing of, I think for us, what facilitated so much pain is knowing that he was taken way too early. Way too early. That's not good. That's not good at all. Nobody should be going at that age. And so, whereas if he led, you know, a life till he was like 90 or whatever, and we were all at that funeral as old people, and that, we would have wanted to celebrate and have a pint or have a chat or whatever and just fucking enjoy that moment. Yeah, funerals are weird places to be, knowing that your friend is in like a, you know, this big box that's being delivered to wherever.
I want mine to either be the most inappropriate one or the most uncomfortable one. I want people to feel like
SilentMark way.
Yeah, I want them to feel like they want to laugh but can't. So, for example, I want to have, you know, when people do kind of like videos of, if you're watching this, then I have died. I want to do that, but do it as if I'm doing loads of different versions of how I could have died. Like, if you're watching this, that bear was not as friendly as I thought it would be. And just do that over and over again and get kind of more outlandish and more offensive and more harsh as time goes on. And then the end of it is basically, if you've watched it this far, go and have a fucking drink, you bunch of bellends, and send them on their way.
And
just having
like you.
Yeah, just have something that would be like, yeah, let's have something depressing as a punchline. Going, I'm dead. Stop being here.
A depressing punchline.
I'd love the idea of leaving people with how they knew me. And as you know, how people know me is shambles, as a bit of a fucking idiot.
Yeah, you need to have the most shambolic funeral known to man.
I really do.
Like a Benny Hill
really
sketch, the fucking coffin falls out the back and rolls down.
I swear to God, if I can make it, I'm going to tell whoever plans my fucking funeral to get a remote control casket where one of the handles will disconnect at a certain point. Just for that exact reason. But I'm not even in the casket. But I'm not even in the casket. Like, all that will fall out is like just a stuffed dog or something.
I just like the idea that the Undertaker's in there. Just says
just something like seriously, he's cremated at this point. His ashes are in a bowl. But what he wanted was for this stuffed dog to go in a casket and for people to fall over with it. Here's all the money that he's got. Fucking make it happen.
I want the African funeral where they're dancing away, you know, where the pallbearers are dancing. That'd be a laugh.
They would.
And then just fucking yeet the coffin somewhere. Get in there.
I genuinely think any type of funeral should be something to remember and celebrate the lost.
Yeah, because every funeral I've been to is just all you do is remember this wave of black and this wave of sadness.
Yeah. Whereas we shouldn't be. We should remember that person. And people do that at the wake. but making the funeral something to be remembered, it would mean more. Like I know I've known of funerals where the people who had died would have fucking hated it, but it's what their loved ones wanted. No, don't do what your loved ones wanted. Don't let them bring down the tone of what could be an amazing funeral. Something that you can fucking tell your grandkids about. You know, your Uncle Mark, well, he made sure that if people weren't dressed in animal costumes, they were painted head to toe in green. And if they weren't painted head to toe in green, they had to stand outside the funeral and could not enter.
Yeah.
Your Uncle Mark's funeral, he was put into the ground with the sound of fucking Dear Diary by Stephen Lynch on. Something massive.
I can imagine all these people painting green, and then there's like a conspiracy theory that starts circulating online that your funeral was a reference to lizard people being real. Something.
Fucking go for it.
The reptilian race has arrived.
My last wish is a conspiracy theory that will be unleashed on my death, and on the death of my closest friend will be exposed for being horse shit, and that the people who fell for it are just bellends.
I really like the idea that your funeral would actually facilitate the invasion of the reptilian race.
Well, I'm Jewish.
Are you all reptiles then?
Did you not know?
Are we referring to Jewish people as scaly now? Is that what we're doing?
Listen, mate, listen to Elon Musk. He's, the new one that's coming after us, I guess.
I mean, I saw that actually, weirdly enough. Somebody was saying, like that Elon Musk is like peddling misinformation. I just thought all rich people are. They all do it. They're all dickheads.
He's doing it on purpose, though, with the point of
I don't get why everyone celebrates Bill Gates, for instance. The guy's a knob jockey.
He is. He's trying to put his money to good use, though, which is a positive thing.
But it's easy to say that when you've got like what fucking $60 billion.
Yeah, but so this is the theory with Elon Musk. He has conquered the electric car market with Tesla. Do you know what he's got coming out in the next couple of years?
No clue.
The massive Republican population of America that are very into free speech and censorship and
the right to bear arms.
Yeah, all those people. What do they drive mostly?
Gas guzzling machines.
But what kind?
Trucks. Pickups.
He's
whopping great 4x4s like that.
Musk has already got an electric pickup truck coming out.
Is that not a good thing?
I know it's a fantastic thing, but the thought behind all this is the reason why he's shifted away from the left and gone more towards the right and gone more towards the conspiracy theorists and the election deniers and the COVID deniers and the flat earthers and all that type of stuff is they're more likely to drive trucks. They're more likely to drive trucks. They're more likely to buy trucks. And the way we are at the moment as a species, we will buy more into the people we agree with.
That sounds like a conspiracy theory on your end.
It is. It is massively a conspiracy theory, but it's got balls.
And that's what we want. Conspiracy theories that have big old meaty testes. That's all we want.
Conspiracy theories with balls.
Yeah, that's what we want. Why don't conspiracy theories have more balls in them?
I have often wondered.
I find Elon Musk to be utterly harmless.
I find him to be a massive bellend.
I don't really know much about the man, like other than the representations I see of him in humorous like animations I watch. Like I can't remember which one it is that he's in. Is Rick and Morty? He's in there. They take the piss out of him, which is officially dead in the water now. That series.
Yeah.
Way to go,
Yeah.
dickhead.
Although apparently he hasn't actually written any of the last two series.
No, but it's the voice, isn't it? And I think unless they can get somebody who sounds verbatim like him, it's fucked, isn't it? You can't really write those characters out.
No.
You can't write Rick
you
and
can't.
Morty out of Rick and Morty.
You can't. It's yeah.
That's
But
why
no,
I want to watch Inside Job, because that's fucking hilarious.
Although that's cancelled now.
Is it?
Yeah, they're finishing.
Surely they're going to do one more series.
Don't think so.
What a load of bollocks. It's fucking amazing.
Everyone should watch Bob's Burgers. That's what they should fucking watch. And I will die on that.
It's pretty good, yeah. It's pretty good. I think, do you know what? I think they should call it a day with Archer now, and that's like one of my all-time favourites. But I think
I love it.
Run its course now, I think.
Well, I think they are finishing after the next couple of series. Although I was reading, I went back on my memories and stuff on Facebook today. When they announced Dreamland, they said that there was only going to be 2 more series, but they're still going.
I think Walking Dead has sort of like jarred people into realizing sometimes it's best to call it a day early.
I couldn't fucking watch it after series. Halfway through, I got halfway through series 3. I'm just like, you're all dicks.
I think
You're all
that's
just fucking bellends.
That's what I enjoyed most about it, though, was the fact that ostensibly everyone's awful. And it's a case of can they find fleeting moments of kindness in this miserable world where they're all cunts, really?
Like I've said it before on the podcast, that just the one scene where Rick's wife died in front of her son. And what Rick does is look at his son and go, like, fuck you, Rick. Fuck you, Rick, and the shitty horse that you rode in on.
Hey, don't be having a go. It's not the horse's fault we got eaten alive in episode 1.
Utter fucking bellend. I've been rewatching Doctor Who. That makes me happy.
Never really sat down. I've never watched any real modern Doctor Who that much. Although
I'm a nerd. I have to.
The ridiculously beautiful woman who is the assistant to, I can't remember who. It's the really hot one. I've forgotten her name. I think her name's Jennifer Coleman. Like,
there's Jenna Louise Coleman.
Yeah, she is fucking beautiful. Like,
she's beautiful. Beyond. Billy Piper, fucking stunning.
Yeah, you had what's her name? Karen? Is it Karen Gillan?
Karen Gillan, absolutely
just
beautiful.
Fucking like all the hottest women that have ever walked this earth seem to be doctors' assistants. Like, But yeah, Jennifer Coleman is like very much the pinnacle. It's her and Liv Morgan are 1 and 2 for me. Like, I'm like,
although apparently she's a massive dick.
Is she?
In real life, apparently she's a bellend.
Makes her more attractive to me. Like, I like women who are arseholes.
Each to their own, mate.
I like evil women. I do. When you watch WWE, for instance, the women who like turn heel and become like bad guys are so much hotter.
Yeah, but we both know that all heels are actually really nice people.
Apart from Shawn Michaels, who was a massive
Apart from Shawn Michaels. But even then, he went face at some point.
Yeah, when he found Christ.
Exactly.
Great. Found a fictional entity and now you're a good person. Fuck off.
Yeah. But just look at Rhea Ripley though, mate. Heel, apparently really nice lady, and hot as balls.
Yeah, but you don't want her to be nice to you. You want her to step on you.
Sometimes, occasionally, just be nice to sit down and
occasionally you want her to cuddle you.
Yeah.
SilentMark and Rhea Ripley, cuddle up and watch films.
I would not be the big spoon. I know that. But I'm okay with it.
Seems fair.
Every show we do this. We
just talk about hot women.
We get all philosophical. We get all deep and meaningful. I make some inappropriate comments, and then we end just talking about women.
That's fine by me. We got any questions? Is it just Robbie?
Yeah, it's just Robbie. But we've asked, what do you think the world will look like in 5 years? On fire.
I've asked loads of people. By the way, the guys in the group WhatsApp group chat, start sending shit in, you lazy cunts. You're always moaning that you don't get to be on the wrestle plug and all this, but you can't even be bothered to send a question into us. You lazy fuck. Especially you, Frankie T. Every week. Like, you know, and then he says, oh, I need to catch up. I haven't watched the last two. I was like, no, but you got time to sit there and wank over trans porn, haven't you, you fucking gimp? Sort your shit out. It's just an assumption. I don't know what he wanks to. Trans porn's pretty high.
I had a conversation with someone the other week about trans women. And they're like, oh, yeah, but you're all supportive. But would you ever go with a trans woman? And I went, it depends if she was hot.
Yeah, I fucking would.
Yeah, and what if she was pre-op? It depends if she was hot.
Well, just tape it down and let's go to town. Right?
If I had a woman that looked like if I had a trans woman that looked like Karen Gillan, I would not care if my ball sack was bashing against her ball sack whilst I was going at it. I would be enjoying myself.
Yes, same.
Could not give a fuck. So here we go. First one from Robbie. Oh, it's Robbie. Hey guys, hope you're well. Still loving your work that you both do on the podcast. Well done. Everyone should be sharing it. My questions are, well, I have 4 questions this time, if I may. Number 1, what do people misunderstand about you most? People don't think I am lighthearted and nice and.
Because you're not.
Yeah.
Moving on.
That's a difficult one because I think there's always truth in the misunderstandings. There is a slight bit of truth.
Plus, we're all going to be quite self-deprecating here, aren't we? So what we see is like, you know, like, yeah, that's it's a very loaded question.
Like a lot of people do think I'm an idiot and I'm a bit of a fool and all that type of stuff, which I am. But that's not all I am. Again, the one thing I always say is people are genuinely surprised when I get deep and meaningful, when I get factual, when I get intelligent, because they're not expecting it from me. Which is, I'll be honest with you, it's where I want people. I want people thinking that I'm the lowest of the low. So when I come out with something that actually makes sense, they're like, holy shit.
Or I think all the perceptions people have of me, whether they be positive and negative, all have value. I am very opinionated. I am very obnoxious at times. I am very stubborn, super stubborn.
You're not.
Yeah. Dramatic sometimes, depending on how it is.
You're not.
Sometimes it's warranted. Yes, we get it. Very good. I think, I just think, I don't think there really is any misconceptions of me. It's frustrating in my business. There's a few people that I've fallen out with for whatever reason. That, you know, more often than not, it's because they haven't communicated with me properly, or maybe I haven't communicated with them properly. There are people in the wrestling business, for instance, who think I'm a fucking arsehole. And it's like, okay, that's cool. But what I've done, I believe, is successful, and who I've been, and the personality that I've kind of, you know, grown to embrace. That's what's got me to where I am. And I think ultimately, if I'm more successful than I've ever been in this business, then for me, that success means that what I'm doing and who I'm being is the correct version of me. And so for that reason, I just kind of think, well, fuck off then. You know, if I was like not a success, or I was just abjectly failing in my dreams and things like that because of this person that I was, then I could understand more so. But I think, you know, you have to make peace with the fact that not everyone's going to like you. Once you do that, it's very empowering. I genuinely don't care now that a lot of people don't like me. It used to bother me. Like, why doesn't everyone like me? I'm a good person. Now I just think, I know within myself that I do good things. And for the most part, I try and help people as much as possible. My job is pretty much centered around making other people better. So now I'm like, okay, like, you don't like me. Life goes on. Like, you know, like, it doesn't really matter. Like, once you realize that it is really not worth your time expending energy on people who don't like you, it's very liberating. It's very freeing. So, greatest misconceptions about me, that, I'm an awful person. Okay. But it's that thing of, you can't change that perception from other people. So, just get on with it. And the important people in your life, even if they do think you're a bit of a bell end, will still be your friends or whatever, will still support you. So, you know what? Put your energy into those people, and the rest of them can get in the bin.
It's cutting the wheat from the chaff, really, isn't it?
Pretty
It's,
much. As you get
and that it's
older, you're far more ruthless about,
mm,
I think it's important that you are. I think ruthless is a really key word here. You have to be ruthless in who you surround yourself with, who you choose to be, associated with. Because if you don't, you will get taken advantage of. You will get taken the piss out of. You will get abused or whatever it might be. And I know with Robbie, there's probably a subconscious reason why he's asked that question, because ultimately he probably feels that people perceive him a certain way, which is not necessarily true. And even if it is true, who fucking cares? Do you know what? Robbie is the only person who sent me a fucking birthday present and a card. The only person. Like, that doesn't speak ill of anybody else, but it shows something about Robbie. Like, like, look at that. He made me a mug.
that's lovely. I like that.
Yeah, that is beautiful. Like, thank you very much, mate. And it's that thing of, yeah, you know what? I've had multiple people say to me, Robbie Nitro this, Robbie Nitro that. He does this, he does that. But it's always from a professional standpoint. They don't like the way he runs his company. They don't like the way he books his shows, blah, blah, blah. That's not a direct reflection on him as a person, though. And the fact that people think it is shows how stupid those people are. So I'm here to say, who gives a fucking shit, mate? Who gives a fucking shit what they think? Are you doing well? Are you paying your bills? Are you looking after your son and your wife? Yes. Well, then the rest of them can suck my fucking dick. All these old, archaic, little sweaty arbuckles who hide behind keyboards and the rest of them, fuck them, mate. I'm not going to do anything about it. They're just not. They're going to cry on the internet because that's all they do. They're going to go to their little friend circles and have a little fucking cry. And I'm not saying that we don't all do that in some way. We're all guilty of it. But these people, literally, their entire culture, their entire makeup of who they are is made up by that. So don't worry about what people's perceptions of you are. Worry about what your perception is of you. If you perceive yourself to be a bad person, then maybe you need to do some inner work. Maybe you need to work on things that you do. But I know for a fact that Robbie is. He's going down the gym. He's working hard. Keep doing what you're doing, mate. Don't worry about him. Fuck him.
Also, I don't really know you that well, but all I can say about you is that you've been absolutely lovely to me and to us as a podcast. So just fucking keep going.
So our perception of you is you're a good human being.
Yeah,
ultimately,
you are
our
obviously a
perceptions
nice
are
bloke.
more important than everyone else's.
Because we are gods.
Yes.
The other misunderstanding that people have about us as a twosome is that that he's the one with the bigger penis.
Yeah, that's hilarious because my dick is tiny.
Yeah. I mean, mine's not big, but it's
that thing of like, I think if I was like, an average sized human being, probably be a decent sized penis. But where I am massive and also have a huge bladder boob, it's becoming like a dog's penis at this point. It just retracts. Is what it is.
And mine looks like a disappointed like cocktail sausage stapled onto my torso.
Mine looks like a chipolata that's been dragged through World War II.
And also, here's another thing. I have weirdly stretchy skin, like properly weirdly. Goes down to my penis as well. Penis, weirdly stretchy skin. But if you remember a few episodes, yeah, but if you remember a few episodes back, banjo string, very weirdly stretchy now. I have a bizarre penis, ladies. So number 2,
put on your dating profile for a week. Put in the middle, I have a bizarre appendage or something of that nature. I want you to do that, and I want to see what fucking happens.
Okay, hang on a second.
Get it done.
Let's do it now.
Yeah.
Whilst we're fucking here. So here we go.
Put something funny on it, like I have a bizarre looking penis and I wish people would show it more love. Operation Get SilentMark laid.
Okay, so now my Tinder profile is as follows. I know I can't see you, but I'm sure you have a smashing blouse on. Hi, I'm Mark. I'm a father, part-time entertainer, shambles, bit of a laugh, shambles. If you're a bit dark, that always helps, but any sense of humor is a good thing. I have a bizarre-looking knob, but it tries its best. A lot of a nerd. I have my preferences, but there is no wrong answers to what is your favorite blank.
Yeah, spot on. Do you feel that it's necessary for you personally to say that you're a father?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I was going to say, if it wasn't necessary, I'd say take that out as well, because I'd be curious to see what kind of reaction you get to it.
I'll take it out as well, but I do think it's necessary because
Because they're going to walk in on you two having sex at some point. Dad, what's
me and the
that?
kids.
Stop looking
How
at me
fucking
with
dare you?
penis.
How dare you think that I'm having sex with my kids?
I didn't say you were having sex with them, but it's important that they
Oh,
see
the kids
your
walking
biology.
in.
Yeah, biology.
The kids.
Biology.
Oh, sorry. No, the kids walking in. Is that what you meant?
Yeah. Like obviously.
Sorry,
No,
I misunderstood.
I was implying that you bang your children. What is wrong with you?
I misunderstood.
No, you didn't. You just chose to make me the bad guy.
Yeah.
And I can do a very good job of that myself. I don't need you doing that, thank you. Heal by name, heal by nature.
So, question number 2 from Robbie. What's an insult you've received that you're most proud of?
Fucking hell, we'll be here all day. Christ. Fucking hell. Someone called me the devil once. I thought that was fucking incredible.
Nice.
Yeah, like I remember some girl I really fancied at uni called me a cocky piece of shit, which I loved at the time. Anything that somebody's yelled at me while I'm being a dickhead in wrestling, because you all think I'm a heel and it's hilarious because that's just who I am. I'm not playing a bad guy. I am a bad person. It's okay. I just channel all the hatred that I have for you into my performance. Yeah, loads of things. I get hate mail all the time, which, to be honest, I've really embraced and love now. People saying that I suck Jim Cornette's dick. That hilarious things like, oh, fucking, you hate Tony Khan because you're a piece of shit. I was like, yeah, I hate him because he's a fucking little twink and I could batter the shit out of him. That's why. He's beneath me. Physically, he is woefully inadequate as a human being. And so are you. If you watch AEW and you love Tony Khan, chances are it's because you're inferior like him and you relate to him. That's why.
Calm.
You sad little weak pissant. What else? Just pretty much anything. Any hate at this point that's levied my way, I take great enjoyment in it. So I look forward to your emails.
Mine was that someone was being a dick about my content and said, "Oh, you remind me of John Richardson." I'm like, well, we both come from the same area, and he's fucking brilliant. So yeah, fine with that.
You remind me of that ridiculously successful comedian, you piece of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Think about that one for a bit, won't you? People are dumb as fuck.
Best compliment I've got though was when I was saying my radio show was important. Whilst doing it, somebody emailed in to say we were our area's version of Mark and Lard, which just sent me over the edge. I'm like, yes.
Just say you love Mark and Lard.
If I could ever have a compliment, it was that. Just stunning. And also,
you're Mark and I'm Lard.
And also, another insult that I'm quite proud of is Nix's mum said I have too big a cock.
I don't think that's true. Because she is abject, although you're definitely her type of person. Extremely white, extremely northern. If you watch,
I'm guessing at this,
she'll be all over your dick, mate. You tell her you like Nigel Farage, and you're getting laid.
I'm guessing that it would be kind of like throwing a grain of rice into a wheelie bin.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
especially since the hysterectomy.
You've got to have a system.
She's so ugly.
And yeah,
Fucking hate.
the third one plus fourth one slash final one, because we've already asked the fourth one. And what's your biggest pet peeve?
You.
Me or Robbie?
No, Robbie.
Okay.
Yeah. No, my biggest pet peeve, too many to count. I hate everyone in some form or fashion. I hate everything in some form or fashion. I'm ostensibly a very miserable human being. Women who won't suck my dick, women who post fucking photos with their kids on their dating profile, fuck you. Like, fuck off. Oh, look at me, I've got kids. You need to know that I have kids immediately. Nobody gives a fucking shit about your prize turnip that you think's wonderful. Fuck off. People's kids piss me off. They're shit. Anyone who fucking, glorifies having a cat like it's some sort of fucking mark of excellence in life. Is it fuck? Grow up. Get a hobby, you sad fuck. People who fucking keep reptiles but don't have any social skills. Like, you people are fucking weird and all. You probably stick that snake up your badge or something, you inadequate piece of crap. What else? Biggest pet peeves. People who don't share shit, but are the first people to go online and cry about how nobody's supporting them, and yet they can't be. Wrestlers who can't be bothered to cut a decent promo and landscape. Wrestlers who cut promos in front of fucking radiators. I instantly think less of you. Wrestlers who buy their gear from Sports Direct. I think less of you. People who have zero fucking drive, no dreams, don't create anything.
I was trying to do a thing there.
People who just sit there and smoke weed all day. Fuck off. Do something else. Have a bit of crack or cocaine or something. Just to mix it up a little bit, you know?
I was trying to do a thing there and it didn't work. And I'm gutted that it didn't work. Because whilst you were talking, whilst you were doing stuff, I just wanted to play this.
You playing it?
I just thought whilst you were there,
you know what really grinds my gears? You, America. Fuck you.
Just doing the list whilst that's on in the background.
Now I'm gonna have to fucking go back and put it over the top. Thanks. Brilliant. Send me a link to that song. I've never known what it's called, but it's fucking phenomenal.
It's the Vision On theme. It's the gallery tune.
Knowing us, we'll get a copyright flag for that.
Yeah, probably.
Stupid. Oh yeah. What else is a pet peeve? People who love Tony Khan, because that probably says to me that you're a gimp.
Well then.
There it is.
Keep going.
Who else do I hate? Pet peeve. People who think that, oh, I hate Jim Cornette because he said something horrible about everybody. Oh, find me a fucking river, you absolute fucking melt. If you can't find value in somebody just because you don't like them personally, you're an idiot. People who don't believe in all the conspiracy theories. The world is clearly flat. Get over yourselves. Now I'm just throwing things in because I want the music to keep playing. I'll tell you what, Robbie, your big potato head, that annoys the crap out of me. Sort your head out. You look like you're made ostensibly from Bodger and Badger reruns. Ridiculous, giant mashed potatoes. Frankie T and his shit promos.
There you go, that was it.
That's it, that's all we got.
Yeah.
We can't play more than 30 seconds, otherwise we get struck with a payment copyright. DCMAs. WWE consistently trying to cease and desist my content. Yeah, because my fucking 60,000 followers are definitely going to cripple your ability to make money, aren't they, Vince McMahon? You giant flappy cunt. People who fucking are Islamophobic, people who are racist, people who breathe near me. I want to double down on people who glorify cats. Fuck you, people. People who treat animals like they're children. Fuck off. These people who post these videos on Facebook that keep popping up on my thing, where it's like, it'll be like a puppy playing with like a tiny little parrot or something, and then it'll be like holding the parrot in its mouth, and everyone's like, oh, how cute. I'm like, fuck you. That it literally wants to eat it. It's a snack. Like, that's not a good thing. People who get tattoos of their exes. Why? What's the point, you loser? You're eventually going to fucking break up with them. That's just the way life is. Everyone's going to leave us eventually, but they're especially going to leave you. I can't imagine anything worse than. Although it would be very cool to, for people to get my name tattooed on them, especially on their dicks or their ass. People who don't listen to this podcast enough, people who don't share it enough. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, because what have we got? 34 subscribers, something like that? Come on. I know for a fact there's a few people in the Rest Plug group chat who haven't subscribed to this YouTube. And if you haven't, I'm going to find you and I'm going to kill you.
Set of cunts.
Yeah. Lazy. People who don't send in questions every week, Tanvir.
I've just sent you a message.
Looking like a gay Mexican.
I've just sent you a message that is something that I would love to say because I think it's genuinely funny to say at this point. But I genuinely thought it's just that little devil in my brain just going.
I really want to say it, but I know that some dickhead that I know will cut it and then put it all over the internet.
But that's the thing. I have this little devil inside of me that goes, I think it'd be really funny just to have you have this really long list, me say that, and we end it.
Well, I'm waiting. Yeah.
I'm not going to say it. I can't.
Even you can't bring yourself to be that much of a shit house.
Because it's not true.
It's not.
And because people...
The really sad thing is, we know we're joking. The overwhelming people who watch this would know that's a joke. But some dickhead would still fight because people are so sensitive. Oh, by the way,
I don't think it's that. I don't think it's that. No, God, you can take that fucking shit back.
Woke people can fuck off.
No, because you are woke.
A thing. Being a good person.
You are woke.
It's not No, we're not. Like, this woke doesn't exist. Like, it's another stupid label for fucking.
That's the thing. It's the people who fucking talk about being woke. They're the people that can get in the bin. Exactly. Most people just want to fucking let people live the way they are. Right? The reason why I don't want to say what I text to Unix is because our audience will get us. So it's the one thing that Scroobius Pip says about his record company. It might not be for you, and that's fine. We might not be for you, and that is okay. You don't need to like us. But I want to do things for my audience. I don't want to entertain my audience. I want to say things for my audience. My audience would get what I was doing at that point. But there are some people that won't get what I was doing at that point, and I don't want to piss those people off. My aim isn't to offend you. It's to make other people laugh.
Whereas I don't really care if I offend you or not.
Exactly.
Plus, but yeah, woke people can fuck off. Oh, I'm part of a community of people that are nice to it. Yes, called being a human being. You're not special. And the fact that you glorify it makes you a fucking moron. Fuck off. Oh, it's very cool. Like, people who insist that you must have pronouns on your profile. If you want to, that's fine. Don't fucking actively search out people who don't and try and claim that they're transphobic or whatever. Or, fucking cis male and blah, blah, blah. All these labels that people create so that they can just hate people. Fuck off. You're such a loser. What's a loser?
There's a nice, as we've always said, there's a nice middle ground.
Imagine that. Imagine waking up and that's what you're going to spend your day putting your energy into, complaining that not enough people have they, them, or she, her, or he, him on their profile. Fucking grow up. The world is burning in front of us, but you want to cry that Brian from Wisconsin hasn't told you how he wants to be perceived as a gender. Shut the fuck up, you loser.
And on the other side of it, the same people who fucking complain that people do put their pronouns on.
That's the thing. I don't give a shit.
Those people can fuck off as well.
Good for you. And if you come up to me, if you say, hey, just so you know, I don't like being called she or her or whatever, I'd prefer if you call me that, that's absolutely fine.
No,
but I don't have to subscribe to that for me personally. So if
I'm talking about cunts like fucking Piers Morgan who will turn around and go, how dare they put he them?
Sucker.
Exactly. So those people can fuck off as well.
Bell ends. You're all, at the end of the day, right? The sooner we realise we're all cunts, whether we're woke or not, the better. because then we can get over all that shit and actually work on ourselves. But we can't do that. It's all formed from a level of narcissism, and we're all guilty of it. But some people are just saturated in it. And it's those people where you think, oh, fuck off. You know, those people, like the ones that fucking SilentMark just WhatsApp to me. Those people, idiots. Tell you.
Right, on that note.
And on that note, you can suck my dick. My inadequate, weird-shaped cock.
Next week on Silent and the Death Machine, I tell you all about people saying, why do you think you've got a weird-shaped penis, and still not wanting to touch it.
And mourning the loss of Aeron Nix, who sadly will no longer be with us.
And Nix is going to show you how to thumb a marshmallow into a dog's anus.
I'm not, because I'm going to have a heart attack and die, probably. So
don't do that.
So I expect you to be wanking ferociously on this podcast next week.
He has gone.
See, that's what infuriates me. You crying while wanking. None of that. Less of that. World's depressing.
I would be sad that you have gone.
Yeah, but, you know, be sad after the wank. That's what I do. I just feel pity for myself after the fact.
Right. Can you do me a favor?
I'm not wanking for you.
I want you to do, like, you know, those things where you see in films where they go, if I'm not on by this time, it's going to send an email to. Can you do that of, like, if you don't log on to the internet at a certain time, there's going to be a video sent to my email of just you swinging your cock and balls back and forth under your legs, just like for like 5 minutes.
Well, you want that to be the video
that's
that
going to be my
for.
That's going to be my fuel.
Your fuel.
I'm going to do a whole hour on you being this fucking disgusting human being, and then play that at the end and go, this is how he wants to be remembered.
Legit. That'll just be my balls. Right. There's this oddly shaped cocktail sausage slapping against these massive meaty balls. What the fuck? Yeah, that'll be doing that, and then the balls are like bam, like a granddad's chin.
Yeah.
I'm going to spend my evening being looked over by paramedics.
Fucking tell me what happens and look after yourself, you weird.
I like how you went to insult me and then it paused. Like you should, it's already like pre-censorship for YouTube.
It didn't. So weirdly, it didn't pause. I was the one that paused. Yeah,
okay.
I was the one that paused. I just went, what can I call him? Yeah, what can I call him?
You're woke, you fanny. That's why.
Yeah, I'm that woke, and I ended with weird cunt.
We're all weird cunts.
Very true.
Yeah.
So we'll see you next week. Health and mental health permitting. And look after yourselves. Stay safe. We all love you. You are loved. Stay healthy and stuff. And I want to put it in your bum.
My mum or my bum?
Bum. B-U-M.
So you don't. This is the thing, right? When people like Ebenezer does this, he'll be like, "I banged your mum." That's not good for you, buddy. That's not good, man.
It's the old Brendan Burns joke.
Her house is like it's like a remake. It's like a really shit remake of Hellraiser, where she keeps luring stepdads into the loft and then feasts upon them to grow.
But it's like that old Brendan Burns joke. Like someone said, "Oh, I fucked your mum." We go, right, mate. My mum's 65.
My mum's like 75.
You're 23. My argument. Well done for mum.
I was going to say, no, she's the one who's achieved something there, not you.
Yeah. Whilst your 23-year-old balls are slapping against her varicose veins looking fucking ass.
I was going to say, her fanny looks like the Battle of the Somme. So, you know, good for you, mate.
Looks like a punched lasagna.
Ah! Can I use that
That's not one of mine. There's a sex worker called Rebecca Goodwin, who is fucking hilarious. Just as a person in general, she's fucking hilarious. And if you look out for her, because she's amazing as a content creator. She's involved with the Dead Men podcast, a Dead Men Talking podcast with Freddie Quinn and Rob Mulholland, who are fucking amazing. But she is also a tremendous human being. So she was homeless at one point. She started doing sex work. She's now a millionaire. She's now buying houses and making them affordable houses. So making the rent really fucking cheap for people to live with. And an amazing human being. So look out for her. Go and subscribe to her. Go and follow her on Facebook. Follow her on Twitter. Follow her on TikTok, because she's genuinely hilarious as a person.
Is she hot?
But, she's cute as fuck.
Oh,
she
awesome.
Really is.
All the best. There's nothing more attractive than like a hot woman who's also really funny.
Yeah, but no, she's she's great. She does a lot of porn with puppets. So she'll fuck puppets, and like that's her content. I'm like, yep, that'll do. That's good enough. She did a thing at Christmas where it was someone breaking into a house, so she just shot her with it was like full on machine gun style fight scenes and shit. It was great.
Fair enough.
Seriously, go and look her up, because she's great. She's absolutely amazing. And northern as fuck as well, which is even better.
Awesome.
But that punch lasagna was one of hers. That's the reason I brought that up.
Yeah, that's good, though. I like that. Anything else you want to plug? Or are we done here?
What else do I want to plug? Your butthole.
Yeah, fair enough. I want to know. I want to live at least another week, because I want to see if you get any like traction on your day in it. So.
Well, hang on a second. I've done it it's been a few minutes since I've done it. Let's have a look. No.
Give it time.
Oh, well, it's only been a couple of minutes.
I was going to say, you got to go on there and obviously swipe for a little bit as well. Do you have a premium account or anything? Or
God, no, I'm not paying for that shit.
I do. Only on Bumble. Tinder's much more expensive. Bumble's a lot cheaper than Tinder.
How much is Bumble?
I think it's 15, 16 quid a month.
See, even
my argument to that is, all right, but then like, how much do I spend on like a coffee? I bought a KFC the other day. Whereas,
and I mean, at the end of the day, if you go to a pub and try and buy a glass of drink, you're going to be paying that anyway.
Exactly.
And if you're going to be turned down, you may as well be turned down in the privacy and comfort of your own home.
Exactly. While having a wank over a punch lasagna.
Speaking of which, let's do it now.
Yeah, I'm down. Your wank face is incredible. Look at that. That is a man who is fucking dedicated to his wank, isn't it?
I'm very dedicated to my wank. Very dedicated.